The view of an American person who is homeless is generally the thought that this person is lazy, this person can't function, this person can't do. I don't really see that as a person living in indecency who survived going to the Daily Bread, which is a local daily soup kitchen that used to be run by a religious group, and then it became more of a non-for-profit. What I can tell you is that military and others like to experiment in those places with all kinds of things. The food often comes in from other types of houses, like fraternity houses, sorority houses, and other types of businesses that donate food, and that's loving and kind. Some of it is also made, I would presume, by some of the people who volunteer. There are challenges to volunteerism, absolutely, that people think that their volunteerism gives them rights and entitlements. It doesn't. What I can tell you is that there is no public shelter for men in this community that offers an individual room where a person might have the privacy of their nakedness, their own body, their need to clean themselves, their need to study, their need to work, their need to make phone calls in private, their need to sleep without a neighbor being right there to monkey around in their personal property bags. There weren't even lockers for people to lock their things in. And there were monstrous men who claimed they had allegedly worked in the military, but you saw a total lack of discipline in them. You also saw men that were being somewhat assaulted by things being put in food that were left or brought over by generous people for midnight snacks, or the things they ate as they were hungry in the evening. You also saw a lot of men who were dealing with addictions or dealing with major mental illness problems, like a young boy that was constantly following people, constantly doing things on campus, and hopefully they took him and they helped him somewhere else. Because some children are never matured as men, and some men refuse to mature as a man. What I can tell you as a person who considers himself a very much displaced executive is that if people had just left me alone when I came out to this area to find better food opportunities and better pricing for the things I needed, then I would have been far gone into a new position, into new work. But since I've been out here, the monsters of the hood have done major damage to my life, destroyed an actual computer God helped me to find for me, which can you imagine Jesus' rage? That the Lord led me to find something I needed as a tool, and some child thought it was a game for him to play at. Some child thought he had a right to crash it so he could steal intellectual property, so he could thieve copywritten work, so he could take artistic designs and try to sell them. The liars of Satan do this. People in the police department also participate in the legacy of Judas. The centurions who killed the Lord, they butchered and slaughtered his mission, his practice, and they abused him physically by assaulting him on many grounds. Now that is their legacy. That is what they're connected to. That is the sin of their past. If they continue to commit sins like that, of sexual assaulting someone, of abusing someone, of battering them by shaving them or doing things to them that the person doesn't have the ability to say no to because they've ruined the food and made them unable to say no, then they have lied to themselves about what they think they're representing. In America, we have rights, and those rights say, I need a place to lay my head. I need an opportunity to sleep safely without someone trying to sexually assault me, trying to maul me, trying to physically abuse me. The shaving of my arms so that they're bare is an abomination to God because I've been a hairy man my whole life. At the same time, the shaving of private parts and the mutilation of parts that are important to a man was an absolute illegal and immoral act. The hard part for most men who are sexually assaulted in some way or have their genitalia abused in some way is the proving it, because most of us don't walk into a place and start claiming what we have and don't have or are worried about or anything of significance like that. The liars of Satan think they have the rights to explore, expose, and exploit someone's life. In America, we have rights, but the liars say, I don't have to honor your rights. I don't have to do anything but what my rights are. And that is an immoral act. The life of a man is always the life of a man. What he can accomplish, what he can do, where he can go with his opportunities might be a drive away, meaning someone could go and help in a matter of a few minutes, or someone could make a handful of phone calls if they had good phone skills and accomplish in a week or less time the things a person is most struggling with right now. The hardest part for people that want to help the homeless is a willingness to give up time and a willingness to cause nothing but a desire to listen. The desire to listen, the desire to understand, the desire to grow as a human being is what Mama in the White House is doing every day. In America, we have rights, and those rights say I have the right to my life. And when I create the right to my life, it's more than just a handful of months to bring a baby into the world. The right to life says I have the right to walk across the parking lot, check to see whether or not the streets are safe, and move into a position that would make it easier for me to access my acting responsibility, my physical job, just like you or other people might have the ability to do. You see, when you lose a snow truck, you lose one. When you lose a dump truck, who cares? That's what some people say. In America, we have rights, and those rights are not being helped much. Those rights are being abused. In America, we have rights, and I might be falling asleep in my fatigue, but the truth is, when someone asks me to speak about what I should speak about, I can only listen to God and allow the Lord to put those people away. In America, we have rights, and those rights to me are not the same as rights to you. But my right says we have the right to grow, to finish our lives, and to succeed. If you don't like that, then by all means, pick another aisle. There are many things to procure is not the point, that when you don't do the right thing, it backfires in your face.